going on, everybody? My name's Danny Ferrari.
My name's Parker Ament.
We are Excellent Sound. I want to redo that because I said excellent.
We're excellent, dude.
Excellent sound. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys check out our content, like, subscribe, comment down below. We got a very special video for you today. We're doing another remake from Quest for Fire, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're not done.
No, we're not done.
It's not over.
Gorilla season ain't over.
How many more songs are on the album?
We're doing them all.
We're doing all of them.
It is coming to a close, but actually, you still might have time to be able to get the Gorilla Early Access Pack. If you guys go down in the link in the description down below, you guys can click that. We'll send you a purchase link, and it might be available in stock. This pack is definitely worth it, you guys. We're going to be showing you some of the stuff in this actual remake here, which is super sick. We use some of it from the pack. We'll talk about the project file a little bit later. One of the main sounds is in the pack, but we're going to go over the processing, and we're going to give you guys that sound for free. And then, of course, we're going to show you another sound with it as well. This is a really, really cool, exciting remake for us because this was a big deal when we first heard this because we noticed something.
Huge deal.
We kind of brought this up in other videos, but there is a sample that Skrillex used that's from one of our packs, right? We caught him.
We caught his ass,
Caught his ass. Caught him red-handed.
Bro, we spent days investigating, getting RX10 open, analyzing that, dude. You know what I'm saying? And we found him.
We sent it to the lab, got DNA testing.
We sent it to the boys just to see. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, if Skrillex is using it, then, you know, just saying. Just saying. Okay. Make sure you guys go check that link in the description if you guys want to get your copy of Gorilla to get all the bonuses, the 7 project files, 415 total Serum presets. It changes every time, but it's somewhere around that. And
it's up there.
The redacted pack, the pack, redacted. Yeah, we're gonna talk about redacted soon too. Let's jump into the video. What do you say?
Let's do it.
I think the first thing that we should do is tell you guys that we remake everything here from scratch. Some of the stuff is from Gorilla, and some of the stuff we made just by hand, of course, American-made, classic. Let's go ahead and play from the build into the drop. Okay, we're gonna go over a lot of stuff today, actually. So simple.
So sick.
So sick. All right, I don't want to play the whole thing. We got to get into this. So the sound we're making today is this sound right here. Now, this sound is a little bit challenging to make, and it's really, really interesting. I think this sound is really, really cool because the way we made it is really, really different. Not that one, just kidding. That one is part of it. This one.
It's a good layer.
Right? It's such a Skrillex sounding sound.
It's so good, dude.
And it's made a specific way that's going to be really fun to show you guys.
It's a straight, you got to use that in like everything. Skrillex uses it in so many songs, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, there's a tone about it, right?
Yeah, it's a great accent.
Like I mentioned, we're using some of the sounds from Gorilla. Some stuff we made, we got a label and stuff too, but like, yeah, some of the trap snares, and then I think the main snare is too. The first sound I played you essentially is like a layer sound, which I'll briefly cover for you guys. We'll put it in the download description as well, but you don't really have to do it. I just kind of, it's just like a little honky.
It's
you know
nasty,
what I mean?
dude.
It's a nasty honker, dude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up an initialized Serum, and let's go ahead and start like that. All the processing stuff will be available in the rack in the download description as well. If you're in another DAW, don't worry, you can do this. This after processing stuff that's happening is just purely like fattening it up. It's nothing really crazy. Okay, so all of the sound is coming from Serum. Okay, so let's go ahead and start like this. So the first thing, and this is where it's going to get a little weird, everybody. We got a lot to do here, so try to keep up and shut up. Okay, and listen. Shut up and listen. Okay, so first, we're gonna go ahead and start with Oscillator A. Now, Oscillator A is probably on the saw wave for you guys. What are you laughing at?
You're just dying over there, dude. I'm
doing fine.
Something coming out of you.
Why does Serum do this? What the fuck?
Are you doing, what? Yeah. Bro, my Serum doesn't do that.
I know.
It's just your Serum.
I think I just updated it too.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, so starting with this, I want you guys to go ahead and choose a sine wave like so. Okay, just a nice little subby sine wave. We're going to go ahead, and this is where it's going to get weird, okay? Just be aware. We're going to set the octave to 3. We're going to set the semitone to -2. And I think the note we're hitting is actually, what is this, F? Yeah. I don't know if this sounds in tune or not, but it's really weird how we figured it out.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so we got our +3 and our -2 on our oscillator A. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the first envelope. So match these settings with the attack at 0.5, the hold all the way down, the decay at 459, the sustain down, the release at 15. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and initiate our oscillator B. Okay. Keep the volume down. It's going to be a square wave. We're going to get into that in a moment. Okay. So now that we got that, we got to do some work. We got to make some LFOs, kids. Okay. So first LFO right here, tiny little kicker ramp, right? Pretty simple. Set it to envelope, set it to quarter. Next one, we got a quarter pipe that goes up and then slams down here. You can do a sick air over this, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, or grind it, okay? Set that to envelope and quarter. Next one is very similar to the last one, but it has a little bit more rounded shape, a little bit more shark tail fin. This one is just a straight quarter pipe. Everything's set to envelope and quarter, I believe. Yeah, and then the fifth one is just a little bit sharper. I know it's a lot, but just pause the screen and try to match it best you can if you're trying to remake it from scratch. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and take our first oscillator A and let's turn down the level, and we're gonna go ahead and apply our LFO2, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that and set it to 100%. Okay, that's our attack, all right? After we got that, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we're going to use FM from B. Now, this is where stuff's going to get a little tricky, so just hang in there, okay?
Get a little wonky.
And shut up. Stop talking and listen. Are you paying attention?
Are you listening?
At this point, I probably would have drifted off too, but listen up. This is important.
Better be listening.
Okay, I got some macros over here. Don't worry. We're going to get into those. I don't have them. Don't you worry. We know what we're doing here.
You're going to get some more metal.
You're going to get some more metal.
And some more noise.
First thing we're going to do is do FM from B, and we're going to have the FM knob all the way up. Wow. Interesting sound. What's kind of cool is that the -2 in this kind of creates this weird sort of harmonic thing together. It's interesting. Okay. Now that we got that, let's go ahead and add a little bit of pitch modulation. Okay. The sound kind of goes, right? And we that's totally not it. I totally fucked that up. But we went ahead and matched that with the coarse pitch on oscillator A so that it can go back into pitch into here. So it kind of slides down 2 semitones. So if you take your LFO1 and you apply it to your coarse pitch and set it to 5, make sure it goes both ways. Yeah, look at that. See how it's sliding down? And that harmonizing thing that happens is really interesting about this.
Yeah, I like that.
Now that we got that going, before we get into the noise, the fine tune needs to be set to 22. Now that we got this coarse pitch kind of going on, we went ahead and set this. This is just to kind of match it as close as we could to the original, so we were fine tuning this oscillator. I never make sounds this way. That's why this is really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and add another LFO, but we're going to add it to oscillator B, right? It's almost like we're doing 2 synths in Serum.
Yeah, you're like juggling.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Right? So like the time that this one's going to come in is going to be a little bit different. So the first oscillator is coming in kind of quicker, and then the second oscillator, which is this one right here, is going to come in quicker and then close really quick. So go ahead and take your LFO3 and apply it to your level knob and set that to 53. There you go. Because I want it to shut down first before this sound. I know, it's super weird. This is totally Fuck me, bro. Unorth to do this with sound design. That's why I think the sound is so much great and so cool. Is like there's no rules. Like this is definitely not following any rules. You think that you do the same thing every time. It's like one thing's plus 2 semitones, but it's not the carrier. You might do that with the carrier. You know what I mean? As far as FMing. And then another thing too we're gonna do is gonna get super weird. Is we're gonna go ahead and apply our we're gonna add a noise right now, and we're gonna set that to ARP circuit. Okay, an analog. Set it to direct out. Set the pitch to 63% and set the level all the way down, and then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of LFO to that. So we're going to take our LFO2 and we're going to drag it over to our level and set that to 37. Beautiful. Now I have a macro on the noise, so you guys can go ahead and add that. That's just if you guys want to edit it, but yeah, you want to have the noise around 12%. So if you don't want to do the macro, just turn up the level knob just a teens. But that's why you're seeing it go bigger than what it was. For those of you that don't know, XENA is a warrior princess from the hit show XENA Warrior Princess, which was a spin-off of another show called Hercules, which is about, young Hercules.
And then was the actor for Hercules the father in Seventh Heaven?
Kevin Sorbo?
Yes.
Is that him?
I think it is, dude. I think he was Hercules.
Dude, I remember being a little kid getting turned on at XENA, bro. Make sure LFO2 goes onto the level knob of the noise. Go and set that to 37. Great, we're getting somewhere. We went ahead and showed you the macro. It's up to you if you want to do that. No pressure, okay? Next thing is we're going to go ahead and add an interesting sort of warp method for oscillator B. We're going to go ahead and FM from the noise. This sound is crazy, I know, okay? Set it to noon and see what happens. Here it starts to come together.
That's nice, dude.
Isn't that weird?
That's real nice.
I don't even know how we got there. Let's go ahead and add a sub for fun. Why not? You can put a macro on here too. We have a macro set up on the sub at like 100%. I don't remember if it's supposed to be direct out or not, but we'll figure that out. That's set up to 26. All right, next let's go ahead and get the filter. We're going to get even weirder, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and use a comb minus filter. We have B sending out a signal too, and we also have A, but we're not going to send A to this filter. We're only going to send B. We're going to set it to this comb minus filter. Set the cutoff to 676, resonance to 39, drive all the way down, and mix all the way up. So send B and the noise to this filter. Okay? Gets a little hairier, huh? Let's go ahead and take LFO2 and let's apply it to the drive of the comb minus. I'm going to go ahead and bypass that and set that to 23. Nice.
Ooh, now that's a nice texture.
What the fuck goes on the cutoff? LFO5. Okay. We're going to go ahead and add LFO5 to the cutoff of the comb minus filter. I'm going to go ahead and set that, and that's just going to be going backwards -10. This is adding a little bit of pitchiness, which is kind of cool. Very nice. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and get into the effects. But before we do that, we want to tell you guys how you guys can get this project file. If you guys want to get this project file and many, many more like this, you can get all the drums, you can get all the presets, everything that we made. Make sure you guys go check out our Patreon. The link is in the description down below. If you guys go and you click that link, you can see we have tons of different tiers, from feedback to our legacy YouTube tier to our VIP tier. You guys check that out, pick which one works for you. And if you want to get this project file, you want to join the legacy tier, you can open that up and you'll see we have tons of project files for you guys all to download with all the sounds and presets in there. And of course our VIP tier, which also includes the project files and exclusive presets and samples for you guys. So check that out and support us on Patreon if you can. We really, really appreciate all our supporters. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and jump into the effects now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some hyper dimension. We're going to try to fly through this because this takes a while. Go ahead and set the hyper mix to 40 toots. Make sure detents is set to 25 and the rate to 40. Turn the size all the way down, mix up halfway. You hear the metallicness of it?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, next we're going to go ahead and add a tube distortion. Set the drive to 28, mix all the way up. A little bit more hair, a little bit more hollow. Next, let's go ahead and add a chorus. We're going to turn the rate all the way down. Delay 1 at 9, delay 2 at 7.6, depth at 6.2, feedback 36, and the low pass filter all the way up with the mix at 45. Even more metal. After that, we're going to go ahead and apply an MG low 12, okay? We're going to go ahead and set the cutoff to 21, resonance down, drive up to 9, fat all the way down, and the mix all the way up. Can't hear shit anymore. Don't worry, we're going to apply an LFO to it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take LFO5, we're going to apply it to the cutoff position and set that to 70 nines. Okay, kind of opening the sound up just a bit. Now, it's up to you if you want to do this, but we went ahead and added a macro on the mix knob. So if we want more like high end, you can kind of hear more metal is what we call it, right? So we have that set up with the mix all the way up and then this all the way down. So whenever we turn this up, it essentially bypasses or does a dry wet for this MG low 12. Perfect. Okay, so now that that's looking good, I think we got to do one more LFO on this thing. Parker, you had no idea what we were in for today, did you?
Oh, I knew, dude.
You knew.
I was ready, bro. I had my sword.
All right, next, let's go ahead and get into our multi-band compression. We're going to go ahead and add that. This is all pretty stock. It should be 18. It should be 4 over 1, 90, 90. Gain at 7. Woo! Here to start to bring out all these great characteristics that we have, right? After that, let's go ahead and apply a EQ. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. And we're going to go ahead and set the frequency on the left side to 102, Q to 56, gain at 19.3, frequency to 11114, Q to 45, and the gain at 11.2. Make sure this side is going to be a low pass. Is it low pass or high pass?
High cut.
High cut. It's a high cut. Cut the highs.
Cut all those highs.
Cut all the highs. And this one's going to be a high pass. This is definitely... So it's low pass and a high pass, but a high cut. That always confuses me.
It sucks, dude. Why? Who came up with that?
Yeah, just choose one.
Yeah.
Assholes.
It's probably Pensado's fault, dude.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those guys.
Goddamn Pensado, dude.
Shout out Pensado. He's tight. We used to watch his shit all the time.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and apply some LFO. So with our high pass over here, we're going to go ahead and apply our LFO 3. I'm going to go ahead and set that over here to 20. So it's going to kind of create a little bit of growliness. Wow, wow. It's kind of adding just like a little bit more sort of vocaliness to it. And then we're also going to apply it to LFO3. This is kind of creating like a little bit of like your own custom bandpass, I would say. Set that to 41. Nice. Nice and open, right? So the reason we did this one is we wanted a notch to kind of come up at the very, very end to add to that sort of vocal thing. Again, this is just like sound matching. There's so much stuff you can change.
There's so many different things you could change at different steps.
Good point. See how it's bringing that little point up at the very end, but it just stays there, almost like a yoink sort of LFO. If you wanted to put something on the sub, you could throw this LFO3 on the sub if you want your own sub. Set it to direct out. Now that we got there, let's go ahead and we're going to get into some of the processing, but let's hear how it's sounding first without it. Not bad. All right, cool. That sounded pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into the processing. What we got to do is we're using the excellent Fat Rack. This is totally free. It's all stock Ableton. If you guys don't have this in FL, I think you can just use like Sound Goodizer or something. Or
no,
Space.
just get it.
Just get Ableton.
Get Ableton. Get excellent Fat Rack, dude.
People, bro.
No, I know. I do too. I
wish we knew stuff in FL. Hopefully one day soon we'll get some FL stuff for you guys. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of low-cut EQ. Oh, it sounded so good. Okay.
Nasty.
Another little layer is this little honky layer that I put. You don't really have to have it. If I take it out, it just adds a nice little touch to it.
It's nice in there.
This is a very Skrillexy bass. Okay, another thing that I've learned. Just a little bit of processing, OTT, EQ, and Fat Rack. So this sound is essentially just sine waves, right? Sine waves turned up, FM. Actually, this isn't doing shit. And it's just a comb filter, honestly, and like a little bit of distortion and a little bit of bandpass here.
Down sample.
Yeah. It's kind of a simple sound, but I think that's where he starts a lot of his sounds. He definitely goes to sine waves and combs. He loves them. And then he just kind of processes them and then layers them. And it's just, I mean, that sounds so
nice.
Good.
It's super
very nice. So yeah, this will be in the download description. After that, kind of interesting. So what led us to this whole point was that me and Parker, when we first heard this song, we noticed this right here. I'm going to show you guys quickly. That sound right there.
Here, you got to zoom in. Zoom in on it, dude. Make it big screen.
Big screen. Like that?
Yeah, dude.
All right, so when Parker and I first heard the song, we noticed this. Okay, in the song. Here's the original. You guys can listen to it. Basically, this is our hand drum fill from Cartel Volume 2. It's exactly the same. I think it's pitched down 1 or 2 semitones. The rhythm's the same. There's a little bit of processing on it. I think he did his thing to it, but pretty cool to see that. And it's pretty like frequent throughout. It's like it's like
huge,
in the
man.
verse, and it's at the end of the drop. The way that he probably did this part was going through some of the old complete stuff, and that's kind of what we did. We layered a bunch of different contact libraries. The Indian, I think you remember what the name of the
Ethno World.
No, it's not Ethno World.
Udu
or Gungam or something like that. We just took that and some contact library, right, and then just kind of like layered it out and then sort of put them all together to be sort of. We're going to bounce this into like a sample so you guys can kind of mess with it if you're part of the Patreon, obviously. But yeah, kind of cool. Really interesting how he did that. The thing that's most cool about it is like sort of tonal texture that he gets. I think it's like with a vocoder. And of course, like this drum yoink sound. So sick.
That's what makes it, dude. That's honestly what makes it.
So cool. So thank you guys so much for stopping by, hanging out with us, and hopefully you guys learned something. I think this was a pretty in-depth sort of sound. So thanks for staying with us, but hopefully it can encourage you guys to make some interesting stuff kind of with the...
I totally want to make some drum drops now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
too,
saying?
Bro.
That would be a sick video. Tell us if you want to see that, because that would be so much fun, I think.
And we're definitely got a video coming making. I think we should do a drop challenge. I was thinking about it.
It's about time.
It has to be a challenge.
It's time, dude.
We're gonna drop challenge coming with Gorilla. You guys can go ahead and challenge yourself by getting Gorilla right now. Hopefully it's still available. Link is in the description. You're gonna go ahead and get all the sounds that are pretty much in this, and all, of course, the 7 project files, over 400 Serum presets, and tons and tons of amazing samples and loops. People have been shouting out in the comments saying how much they love it. So, you know, if you don't trust us,
pretty wild, man.
Listen to them. They're not paid. Yeah. So hopefully you guys go and do that for yourself. There's only so many copies. So thank you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Like, comment what you want to see. Parker, you got anything for the people, bro?
That's it. I loved it. You covered it.
We'll see you guys next time.